Okay, great. I am Nick Friend. I am CEO and owner of Art Storefronts. Yeah, keep an eye out for Joseph because he'll need to do the screen share when he gets on. He may need the link as well, by the way. Okay. Hey, guys. All right. So, this is an interesting day today. I'm going to say that because I normally would talk to you about, like the core aspects of Art Storefronts, right? And I'll say it really quickly, right? Like we're an all-in-one solution, and we're solving for two specific problems, right? And this is what you want to like kind of audit yourself. Number one, we provide a proper art gallery website with all the features and functionality to provide an amazing art buying experience, to make sure that you convert every single visitor that you possibly can into a sale, and you don't lose, any sales from the traffic that you're generating, right? So it's the Ferrari of art gallery websites. You want to properly equip yourself. You should do that. Generic websites are notorious. They do not work well. They leave a lot of money on the table. Generic being Shopify, Squarespace, GoDaddy, WordPress, Zenfolio, SmugMug, take your pick. So that's the first thing that we do. So we call it the Ferrari. But if you have a Ferrari in your driveway and you have no gas in it, it's kind of pointless, right? The gas is the marketing, okay? So the second part of what we do is we provide business and marketing consulting, okay, to help you get more traffic, eyeballs on your work, and all that stuff. That is the big problem, okay? 100% of the artists and photographers that we talk to and that we work with, they have a marketing problem primarily, okay? Because when you work with us, you get your website live in 14 days with our white glove process. That box is checked. You've now got something that is set up according to best practices, ready to go, so that you can spend the rest of your time on marketing, because it's marketing that's going to change your life. Okay, so what we usually find is that artists and photographers either have one of these or none of these. Okay, they never have both, meaning they don't have a proper art gallery website. They're using some generic website, and they don't have a solution for their marketing. They're not getting enough traffic, not enough eyeballs on their work. Their sales aren't consistent. Their sales aren't growing, right? So that's what you want to ask yourself. Out of those two, how many do you have? Do you have zero? Do you have one? So if you solve those two things, you're going to be like the people who are selling hundreds of thousands of dollars a year of their art on our platform, right? So you have to have those two things. Otherwise, you're really hamstrung. But so that's kind of the normal thing that we talk about at Art Storefronts. But what I want to add in here today is a topic that Patrick and I have been discussing. In fact, we were just live on Instagram and Facebook, 20 minutes ago talking about this. And I think this is extremely profound. We are experiencing, I'm saying all of us, okay? All of us in the art industry are experiencing the biggest, what I would consider to be the biggest tectonic shift that the art industry has ever seen. I've been in the industry for 20 years, okay? And I have never seen anything like this happen. And it's amazing. It's actually extremely exciting, because if you've been paying attention to any of the stuff that we've been publishing and talking about every day, it's that, art has been selling during this pandemic. It happens to be one of the winners. And it's because the home decor segment and the home DIY segment, have been winners during this time. People are like really concerned about, their home and their environment and things like that. And so lucky enough, art has been selling like crazy. And at Art Storefronts, on our customer websites, like their individual artist and photographer websites, we are seeing Black Friday sales levels every single week right now. Like, it's just unbelievable. So that's what's happening with us. And the big thing, the tectonic shift that I'm referring to is the fact that, before this pandemic, this wasn't the case, but now it is. Artists and photographers are able to do their own live art gallery shows and things like that, digital tactics like that. And we are seeing so much success from it. I can't even tell you. And we've got a whole playbook for it, on how to execute it, because there's a lot of trade craft on how to get it done properly, and then how to tie in the technology of your website to make those things happen, and they're ephemeral, right? So like they're only going to happen really quick, and then you're going to take it down, and you need to make it easy to check out, all these different things. But the fact that individual artists and photographers can run their own international art gallery now, and have their own shows, okay, where you have no geographic limitations. The entire world can attend. Every follower you have can attend. Everyone on your email list can attend, okay? And you can do those shows, and they are legit, and you can make sales on the spot. This is unbelievable how big of a change this is for the industry. Okay, so there's no more gatekeepers. The art galleries were already on death's doorstep before the pandemic hit. Now they're in deep trouble. And with this is a whole different ballgame, because you don't need any of these people anymore. If they add value, of course, you'll still want to work with galleries. There's nothing wrong with galleries, but the fact that artists and photographers are benefiting from this power shift, over to them is unbelievable. And I've been a business owner in the art industry for 20 years, as I said, and I'm looking at this moment with such excitement and positivity, I can't even tell you. And so my final word on this, and I'll pass it over to Pat, is we are in America 2.0, right? This new normal. Mark Cuban was the one who gave it this phrase. Like, there was pre-pandemic and there's post-pandemic. And the way that everybody needs to be thinking, and the way that we're training our members to think, is you need to be operating and thinking about how you are going to succeed in the new normal, in the new world, right? If you are looking back and you are hoping for the galleries to come back and the art shows to open up, you're going to have big problems. I will tell you that, because it's not going to be the same. It never is. I've gone through 3 recessions as an entrepreneur, like the 2008 one. And the people who didn't adapt after 2008 got crushed. It was really sad, but they got crushed. And the people who adapted, the artists and photographers who did, ended up doing really well. So here we are again. We're in another one. And so you got to be thinking about this new world and everything I just said about the fact that, oh my goodness, I can run my own art gallery. I have no restrictions. I'm my own brand. I can have anybody in the world do it. And how am I going to do that? Well, it's marketing. Your whole job here is to get yourself out there everywhere in the US, everywhere in the world, no matter where you're located, and control your own destiny and have the opportunity to make more money from your art and get more consistency than you've ever had before. And I am so excited about it. And we are designing the entire company around this. We already designed ourselves around the online market, but this is just one of the most exciting moments in history. And I just wanted to pass that along to you guys. Pat, your thoughts? Awesome. All right. Well, Joseph, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then you run that quick demo.
Yeah. My name is Joseph. I'm with the onboarding team here, and yeah, I just want to show you guys, the solution we've put together to help you really take control of your art business, not be relying on those marketplaces, and start to diversify yourself from the galleries and things like that. So, first comes with the boutique website, right? It's just designed specifically for what artists and photographers need a store to do. Image security, those types of things we've already pre-built, but template based, pick what you like, make it look and feel how you'd like, lots of different templates to pick from, but really the buying experience is where you're going to start to see the separation here. This is like with prints, for example, people can actually hover and read these medias, get the same type of questions they have answered offline, answered here with your store. So really see what they're buying. When they click on these, it starts to give them a preview that the paper would have trim, the canvas is going to have depth, metal's flat. We're really letting them get those questions answered. Then they can pick a size. Good to have a variety of sizes there. Framing options as well. So you're able to actually sell a turnkey product here that's like a framed print. People can read about the frames and try different frames on here. And we do have an optional print on demand. So if you would like, we could have a lab, like an archival museum quality lab, just print, frame, and ship these orders that come through automatically. So it's really nice. Optional feature, if you want to do your own printing, if you have your own printer or use somebody local, that's fine too. You'll just receive emails for your orders and then forward those on to them, let them print those for you. And again, whatever you're looking to sell, we want to help you just expand upon that. So if you're selling prints, great. Or if you want to add prints, if you're an artist, but you can do open editions, limited editions. You can sell originals, of course. For the original, a little bit of description's nice on the higher ticket priced items, just like the limited editions as well. But really showcase the art, show them the front, a back, side, texture, detail within the piece. We're really want people to understand the value and the detail that's going into these pieces and why they carry those higher price points. And then you're going to notice we have, multi-panel type options. So you can put triptychs and things like that. A lot of you might already have things like that you're offering. It's a great upsell. It's a very trendy thing right now as well. So take advantage of that. You will, of course, notice more advanced wall preview type features. Again, we're looking to give you the same type of buying experience those large marketplaces have, but again, in your own personal gallery here. So people can get that size and scale. Again, a big original or large limited edition metal print. People need to understand that to understand why it has that price point that it has. And yeah, change the wall color to what's in their home. These are not random. They're actually the top selling colors from Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore. Of course, with the pandemic and everything, we've recently added a new office setting in here because there are a lot of people working from home now. So we always want that to be relevant. Live room previews. This takes it to the next level. Here, people can actually hit that button, pull up their camera, and with this advanced feature, actually try your art live on their wall. So this gives you a little idea what that looks like. It's live. They're not taking a picture and uploading it. We made this as simple as we can make it so you can get the maximum amount of people using it. But they can try it live, see it over their couch, see it over their fireplace. It's just a really great buying experience. So just kind of give you an idea, again, how we're trying to enable you to have your own personal gallery, know your buyers and collectors. More features than we have time to go over. Again, we want to make a lot of time for your questions to get answered. But just so you have a light gauge, we do have a huge feature list here where you can start to see, Squarespace and those types of companies. We're going to have some standard things that are going to be the same. But then when it really starts to get into art selling features that you need, like image security and those things, you're going to see they start to fall short a little bit. No fault of their own. We've just been doing this for a long time. We're specifically really just boutique and niche for you guys. And this is just what we've developed to what you need to sell art online. And you'll notice they're not going to have quite a bit of the features, about 17%. That said, the website, it's great, right? And it's what you need to sell. But again, if you're not adding gas, like you'll hear Pat say to the store, it won't do you any good. So I want to give you a light gist of like this marketing plan we put together for you guys, because this isn't just some run of the mill thing. This is specifically designed for selling fine art. So we update this monthly, so it's always going to be relevant, but I just give you a taste so you can see May here. And when you get into the calendar, there's always an overview, but I just want to show you and give you an example of a day like today here. You'll notice announce a Memorial Day sale. So you could run a promotion today if you'd like, and it's going to give you exactly what to do. You're going to want to put that Facebook, Instagram, email. We want to help you grow an email list if you don't have one. If you have one, we'll help you use it. And then templates and text here. And it's just day by day. So none of our clients are having to sit down and write emails at the end of the day. This is going to save you time. Again, you're wearing all these hats as an artist. It's so expensive to hire someone to do this for you. So it's just a really great solution. It's like getting those pre-prep meals sent to you. We are going to be having a laid out marketing plan prepared for you every single day or for the whole year. So it's a really, really great value for you guys and make it actually executable. I also want to come back, like we're doing now, we do these consulting calls as well that are a little more private for our members only. We'll go into some more advanced tactics and things like that. But we archive those in here, so you can always come back and rewatch them and see all these different workshops that we're doing. So this is a whole database full of information, but just to kind of give you a taste of one here, you'll see in here, like here's a past one that we did, and the different topics that come through here. So again, it's great opportunity for you guys to just further yourself, get better and better with your marketing through time, and drive as much traffic, because that's the never ending battle or fight. You're always going to be wanting more and more traffic for the website. So that kind of wraps it up. Again, I just wanted to give you guys a light rundown and overview. Again, we want to make enough time for your questions and everything to get you some answers there as well.
Joseph, can you go ahead and talk about pricing?
Absolutely, absolutely. So with the pricing there, we do have options that you can get started as low as a one-time activation of at least $1,000, and then $44 a month. On the upper end, it does range up to a one-time activation of $2,800 and then $59 a month. That's going to be the as advertised plan, the car with all the features, bells and whistles that you see in the commercial. But we do have some options. That's not always in everyone's budget to start there. So if you need to spread that out financially a touch, you can start as low as $1,044 and then always work up to get access to everything. We do have some transaction fees for the art you sell through the website. There it's 15% for prints, lower 15 or 10% for original limited edition type work. There through the sold through the website. Yeah. So it's just a really great value at any level, because having someone build this marketing plan like we have, it would be so expensive to just go out and get that on your own. So this is just a really, really great setup for you guys. And it's just tailored specifically for this industry, which is beautiful.
And Joseph, we are running a sale right now. It ends the end of the month. Was
Correct.
The pricing that you quoted the discount price? Can you clarify that?
Yeah. So on the upper end, so the 1,000 is the discounted price there. On the upper end, for the people who want to get started with everything out of the gate, we did knock that down a touch, that you could start with everything for $2,500 at the moment. So a little extra savings there as well. So it's a great opportunity. We also have some options where you could pay annually and get a discount, some extra free promotional time. The upper end has the most free time. Right now, when you pay annually on the upper end, they'll give you an extra. We have 8 months extra that we put together right now.
So if you buy a year up front, you actually get, what is that, 20 months of service?
Correct. Yeah. So it's a great way to save in a couple different ways. So it's a really good time to come on board if you can. So.
Yep, Susie, to answer your question, it's just more features, more advanced features. When you request
and request a demo.
Yeah, when
if you're the natural questions from here are, well, what do I get for this and what do I get for that? And there's so much involved in the all-in-one solution. You want to request a demo, and then you'll be able to just get on a one-on-one call with Joseph or somebody on his team to learn about you and what you're up to and what your goals are, and then answer any questions in detail about that type of stuff. Get on another screen share to look at everything. So if you're at that stage, you'll want to request a demo. And Joe, you want to give everybody
yes, Susie,
a final warning, because I know next week is like crazy. Like, what is the calendar like next week already?
Yeah, yeah, it's already filling up. Monday's a holiday too, so we're looking at if you can reach out today, we'll be happy to talk to you and set you up. That way you get one of the spaces that we have left, because it's pretty limited spots.
And if they put in a demo request today, will they be talking to you or like anybody on the team in particular?
Yeah, potentially me, as well as someone else on the team. But yeah, I'll be happy to chat with you guys. So just put in a request and we can talk, and I can elaborate on the different tiers for you, and also make recommendations. That call's a real light call, for a few minutes, but but before people come on board, we want to learn more about you. We like to know who we're doing business with. I mean, well, you get marketing consultation for life as part of this, right? So we want to know who we're working with, more about you. That way we can get you some more recommendations as well.
And make sure it's a good fit.
Correct.
For sure. For both sides.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Just,
are you gonna stay on for a bit, or do you have to get back to it?
Yeah, no. I can stay on for a few minutes, probably about another 30 minutes here, and answer any questions.
Sure.
And things like that. So
if you have to go, you just go ahead. I know it's crazy right now with all the demo requests and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But Pat, do you want to go right into the Q&A?
No, I want to start. I want to rant for a second on.
Let's remind everybody about how they can raise their hand so they can start doing it.
Yeah. Taylor's putting links, or Chris is putting links in there that'll show you guys how you can raise your hand and ask us questions. And we'll get to that literally in 5 minutes. But I want to say, this pandemic has been such a tremendous blessing for us as a company as it applies to the marketing. And so, Joe showed you a little bit of the website, and the website is great. It's a Ferrari. It's a Ferrari without gas, though, if you don't have the marketing. So let's talk about marketing. Prior to this pandemic, we put out a ton of content, and maybe you guys are familiar with what we've done. Maybe you just found out about us today. But prior to the pandemic, we were like a lot of companies out there. We had a blog, we had a podcast. It's one of the highest rated podcasts on iTunes for art marketing. Check it out if you've never seen it. And that's what we did. We put out that great content, and we were pleased with it. It was really good. It was focused on selling art and photography online. Got great response out of it. Fantastic, right? Then we started making in-depth playbooks for things like email marketing, how to run a sale, how to discount, how to set up your website, how to run a contest, all these various different facets of marketing. And we would publish those for our customers, and we had a private Facebook group, and they would post their questions in there, and all of that was well and good. The pandemic hits. Prior to the pandemic, we were almost not on video at all. I wasn't, Nick wasn't, the majority of our company wasn't, and we saw the writing on the wall, okay, this has got to change. So a week before the pandemic hit, Tom Hanks and Getting It is sort of like when I say it started. We started going all in on this video concept. And what did that mean? It meant it was Nick and I in a Zoom call with like 100 of our customers on a bi-weekly basis, talking about what their problems are, explaining them to the tactics in detail, and getting them unstuck. And it has been the most profound blessing we could ever hope to have happen, because it's completely and utterly changed our company. Prior, you had great content. We showed you great tactical videos, the screenshots, everything to get a sale done. You could post in the group. People would help you out. We'd help you out. None of that's enough. None of that's enough. If you were in the software business 10 years ago, 5 years ago even, you could have a piece of software you would sell and potentially grow a decent-sized business. And that's all well and good. Fast forward a couple more years, and maybe starting 10 years ago, there started being so much competition out there that if you thought you were going to have a software business and be successful, it's getting way, way harder. The stats from Shopify, and this is not a knock on Shopify, are that close to 99% of the Shopify stores that launch fail. They fail. Why is that? Because opening a store is not enough. A website, not enough. That is not what creates a successful customer. What creates a successful customer is actually them growing their business and making money, right? So education, online education, a Facebook group was not enough. If you look at the stats out there from any of these online course companies, Masterclass, Coursera, Kajabi, any of them, it's profound. People buy these online classes and they never finish them. It's like 20%, 25%, somewhere around there, that buy a class, that actually pay the money for the class, never go on to finish it. And why, right? Because it's just not how we're programmed to learn on our own and take all that initiative. It's too hard. And marketing especially for photographers and artists, is a really complicated thing, right? Like your brain's not wired to do that normally. There's very few that are really good at it. And so we realized that our courses were not enough. And so what we did is we started putting all our customers in, hearing about what their problems are, and realizing that they had something stuck in their drain that was preventing them from taking the next step in their marketing, these self-limiting beliefs, or they were getting hung up on or something, or they needed some encouragement, or they thought this will never work for me, and then some other member comes in and tells their success story, and that unclogs their drain. So fast forward, we're like 24, 25, 26 sessions in with our customers, and everything has completely changed. It's essentially like we had like a little fire before, and then as a result of this pandemic, we find this giant can of gasoline that we're just dumping all over the fire all the time. It's been absolutely amazing. Let me give you for instance. We're very good at digital marketing, okay? We hang our hat on that. The pandemic hit, going live ended up being a huge thing, right? There's amazing things you can accomplish with going live. So what do? We start learning all the techniques and tactics. This is what we've always done. Nick and I have been live over 165, 170 times at this point. It's 5 to 6, 7 days a week, multiple times a day, learning all of it, all the aspects of it. We take those learnings, we build the playbooks just like we used to. Then we go into the group, we teach the playbooks one-on-one. And then what ends up happening is once we're in the group, we have certain customers that take the digital initiative before others do, that are comfortable, that are saying, I'm going to go, they're going to do it. And so we figure out how to go live and the various different techniques and tactics and how you do it on the phone and how you do it on an iPad. What about Instagram? What about Facebook? Is there software? How do you combine it all? What's the tradecraft? We teach that, and then our customers go out and they ship it, right? And they are in different niches with different mediums doing different things all over the world. And then these guys start having some success. I sold 6 originals. I got 2 commissions. Here's what I did. And they come back into a Zoom call just like you're in now, and they tell their story about what they did. And what we found is this is just the most profound change we could possibly have as a company. We're teaching marketing, and it's good marketing. It's as good as it gets. It's as advanced as it gets for artists and photographers out there for selling art, not for anything else, not for ladies' handbags, not for swim fins, not for golf clubs, for selling art, photography, even to a lesser extent, jewelry and sculpture online, okay? Then we teach the tactic. We get people unstuck. They go out and they ship it. Then they come back, and they're in the group telling their story. Here's what I did. Here's how successful it was. Here's where I stumbled. Here's where I need to get better. And so we found that this is creating this iteration pace for us. We taught the lives. Everybody came in and they said, here's what I did, here's what I did, here's what I did. Everyone gets encouraged. A whole bunch more people go out, and we're updating our playbooks in real time. Here's what you do, here's what you do, here's what you do, here's what you do. The minute this call ends, I'm grabbing an artist and we're running a live art show. We did it yesterday for the first time and sold $850 on the first one right out of the gates. The world is changing, and this new system that we've created, in which we're leveraging our customers that are going out there and doing it and feeding those inputs back into the system, has created a flywheel like I've never seen in my entire career. Even if we're really good at marketing, Art Storefronts, and our team, we can't be everywhere at once. We don't know every nuance of the art selling business. No one could. It's too big. And so now that we have these customers going out and shipping, and that's building back into the system, we've just created this machine that is unstoppable. You could not possibly hope as an individual, as a consultant, as a business, to execute this quickly on marketing and get these learnings back into the system and then just continue teaching it and continue teaching it and continue teaching it. So it's like you hear how fired up we are, Nick and I, when we talk about this, and everyone keeps like talking about our enthusiasm. You can't fake enthusiasm. You can't fake it. You either have it or you don't. The reason that we have it is because sales on our platform are at Black Friday levels right now in the middle of an economic catastrophe and pandemic. That does not make sense. That should not be happening, right? So we just feel like there is profound change, okay, in the industry, that it's going to be a tectonic shift forever on how art and photography is sold online. We feel like we're at the forefront of it. We're seeing the results, and we are just so incredibly encouraged by it. And we feel like as a business, as a result of this new system, as a result of getting so close to our customers were names and faces in a Facebook group. Maybe we had a conversation here now. Now I'm ripping on people in the Zoom calls because I see them week in and week out. Like, we've built this amazing community, and it's, you can see I'm fired up about it, but I'll leave it there. Let's just start getting into the questions. Does that sound good?
Let's do it. Yeah. So you guys, there's a feature, if you saw, like, you can raise your hand in Zoom. And I think it's if you click the participants or the chat button, then you'll see the little thing, raise my hand. And then it forms a line for us, and we will unmute you, and you can talk to all of us, and we'll answer your questions. So it looks like people are starting to do that. Why don't we go ahead?
Yep. Alexander, you're up first. Alexander, go ahead.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Thanks for doing this call.
of course.
I'm a brand new artist. I've only been doing it for a year in Los Angeles. And due to, personal circumstances, maybe just who I am, to grow my business, I really just stay in the creative field. And in order to grow it financially, I guess I rely in an extreme sense on people doing the crowdsourcing and the marketing kind of independently. So how would you grade your strategy along that line? Kind of an extreme case.
I don't really understand what you mean. So have you been making sales?
No, I don't really focus on it because I guess I find that the website, the social media ends up being a distraction and a big time input, big distraction.
Oh, I see. So you don't want to do it.
It's tough. It's tough to make both decisions, I guess.
Well, it's just, what do you want to do?
I want to create, and I guess I like to see those prints kind of just available. And
okay. Well, what I mean by that is like, what are you looking for in your career? Like, are you looking to build a business?
Pretty much independent, stay in LA, movies, music.
Right. So the thing is that, you kind of have to decide whether you want to put time in and build a business like a normal business person, because that's what it takes. If you don't do it, nothing's going to happen. That's just how it goes.
In the realm of visual art, if I produce, in such a volume that it's just too tough for me to manage all the material.
Jason,
if you're producing in such,
sorry, I said Jason. Alexander, if you were starting a restaurant, right, and you were a cook, and you're like, all I want to do is just cook. I'm gonna just cook, and I'm gonna create these amazing meals. If you want to be in business, you're gonna have to get people in the restaurant to eat them. So you have to decide, like, if you want to be an amazing cook and you just want to cook at home in your kitchen and feed your friends.
I guess that's what I mean by the lifestyle choices in LA. A lot of it has to do with avoiding kind of other people and like systems of corruption. So it's more of like an independent freestyle sense. And I guess that's why it makes the art marketing world so difficult for us.
Alexander, show me where the button on the ATM machine is for free and independent lifestyle. Doesn't exist, brother.
Disabled veteran.
You got to make a call. I understand disabled veteran. We've all got crap on our lives.
It's what we learn. It's tough,
Yeah. You got to decide, brother, if you want to start a business or if you don't want to start a business. If you want to create art and have an independent lifestyle and all the rest of that nonsense, that's fine. But like some tough talk, if you got to decide if you want to have a business or not.
Yeah, because you're going to have to put work into it, and it is what it is, and that's for every business. Like, people have been sold a lie that there's passive income. There's no such thing as passive income. Like, you can listen to billionaires talk about it. There is no such thing as passive income. You have to work at it, right?
The general question would be like, do you see the transformation in the industry as being to where we could work on our craft more so than kind of retool the machine,
Oh yeah. Look, here's the thing. If you're looking, like, for what you're talking about, you literally have a Shangri-La situation where you're a creator and you're living in a time where you can control your own destiny and do your own marketing and listen to nobody except obviously us who are trying to help you to build your career so you can do this for the rest of your life, right? Otherwise, where are you getting income from? You have a job, you're going to be a part of the system. If I'm talking about it in your language, the system's going to control you unless the freedom that you will have is, yes, it's work. Yes, it's work, but it's your work on your business and your future. That's why I'm an entrepreneur, Alexander. That's why I have been for 20 years, because I want to control my own destiny. I want to do my own things. I want to make my own decisions. That's exactly what I've spent my entire life doing. Yeah, if there's hard moments, right? You're building a business. Building a business is hard, but like, if that's what you really want, is that independence, then you've got the Shangri-La, because you can do this from your house. We have like artists and photographers that are selling hundreds of thousands of dollars on our platform are doing it out of their house. They don't even have like a retail art gallery, right? So it's about the best that you can get for that. But I think here's Patrick, when Patrick's talking about the drain, it's always psychological. Like, your roadblock on it is, the man, right? And the system that you think is there, and it's not there, because when you're running an independent business like this, you do whatever you want, right? Do as much marketing as you want. If you're not making the money that you want to, you're going to have to do more. You're going to have to get better. You're going to have to acquire the skills, right? But like, it is out of all the career paths you could choose, this is about the best one that you could get for what you just mentioned, right? And so I think you have to accept that and go, look, nothing's perfect, but this is pretty darn good, So I think that number one, and then secondly, like, you know, again, like you're talking about, you're producing so much work, you know, like if your goal at the end of the day is to make art that makes people happy, you know, and you have like a benevolent purpose behind it, and it's not all about you, then the first thing that you should do is get it out there and get, get feedback from people. And that comes in the form of sales and reactions and things like that. And at the end of the day, when you actually, if you want to make the world a better place, it will happen when you have connected with an audience and you know what they want, and it actually comes in the form of revenue. Believe it or not, that's the paradox. People are always like, I don't want to sell my art, really, but I do want to make the world a better place. And it's like, do you realize that like when you don't talk to your customers, or you don't like actually get it out there, that you're not really making the world a better place because nobody cares yet? It actually comes back in the form of like economic transaction. As crazy as that sounds, it's just the truth.
Yeah, and summed up more succinctly. Oh, sorry, I don't have my video. If you want a business, yes, you're going to have to work on the marketing. I'm not aware of any businesses that start up without marketing that do really well, aside from Sriracha. I've heard Sriracha.
Yeah, and look, other these website platforms, like Patrick was talking about, how 99%, you can Google it, 99% of Shopify stores fail, or Squarespace, or any of these things, right?
It's this
like
reason.
This is the problem. Like marketing, that you have to work at a business, and the one thing that we do at Art Storefronts that we will never ever stop doing is just telling you the truth. Just let's be real, guys. Like, we're going to tell you, and there is no get rich quick. You're going to have to work at it. So the sooner you get that out of your head is like, maybe tomorrow you wake up and you're like, you know what? I was wishing that would be the case, but like everything in life, like, they're right. The fish aren't going to just jump in my boat. It's, it doesn't work that way. And so then you start going, okay, well, what am I going to do? Right? Well, I want to spend the least amount of time on marketing, right? Well, if you want to spend the least amount of time on marketing that you possibly can, and the maximum amount of time on creating, doesn't it make sense to have a 365-day year marketing plan that, like Joseph said, the pre-made meals, they're just sent to you, right? All you got to do is eat them. You got to unwrap them. You got to eat them. You got to execute on it. But you will literally have the maximum time that you could possibly have to create when you have all of this stuff done for you. Subject lines written, email content is pre-written, and you just change a little bit here or there. Templates are all created for your social media posts. Go down the list. I mean, there's so much detail in there that I can't even talk to you about it, like tell you everything about it, but it's all there for you. So, if every creator wants to spend the maximum amount of time creating, and we understand that, and that's why we're doing what we do, because we want to. When you are going to spend time on marketing, we want it to be very high impact. The highest return on investment on your time.
That's right. Okay, Jose, you're up next. Jose, go. Oh, did I get you unmuted or not? This thing's really being buggy on me today. Shoot. Hold on.
I have my.
Oh, there we go. I got you. Go ahead.
Jose, there you are.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to found you at last, because I follow you from many years, but I didn't feel secure. I don't speak very good English like you, very fast, But I'm living in Miami from 24 years, and I've been working in art all my life. Actually, I represent an artist, and Latin American artist from 33 years already, and we start from the beginning. So I passed before internet, after internet. I always believe in the internet, but I started doing websites and anything before of anybody. And I sold all my life. Quite lately, like after 2008, the marketing was crashing down, and I survived. It's September 11. I survived to move from my country to Miami, and now I have to survive again. and yesterday I saw you, Nick, in Facebook, and it was like it was you where you talking to me, because I was looking something new, and I try also other websites to sell arts, but they don't have the things that I thought that they would need it, like to show the painting in a living room.
Right.
You have much more than I wanted. You can change the painting, the wall, the color, that's fantastic. And I have so many questions, and actually I talked this morning with Nate.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm gonna have a one by one at 3:30, but I don't
Cool.
want to miss it because I became like an automatic fan since yesterday.
Thank you.
All the videos that you have, very helpful for me because I just live in for art. I don't do anything, nothing more. I cook very well, but I don't have a restaurant. I just committed to live in arts. So I have many questions, but I wanna ask you just two questions because I don't want to extend myself, and probably I'm gonna be your client soon. The thing is that when if I sell a painting, how is the delivery? How I deliver to
Yes.
Well, is it original or an original or a print?
Let's say an original. Right now, I want to sell prints that I never saw in 30 years, but I have so many good pictures. That's another question. How you need the picture, raw, Photoshop, or what's the technique to print? And the other thing is how I deliver a painting to a client when I sell it.
Okay, so when you sell an original painting, you would just ship it directly to your client. Okay, so and then if you're using it for prints, if you use our automated fulfillment, then the printing company handles the whole thing. They have status updates, like it's being printed, it's being shipped, and then it'll have a tracking number, and it goes directly to your customer.
I love that because
Yeah.
I don't think just doing my work to put the beautiful picture or whatever, or because my artist is painting and photographer. So I hope I can sell the two things in my website.
Excellent.
But the doubt that I have is the picture when you want to print it.
Yeah, so you're asking about how should you capture your images so that you can have a file and upload it for prints?
We have pictures raw, that's it. But I don't know if you need it raw or how you get the picture.
Oh, you have them in raw. I see. Okay, so we have an article actually on this that actually just got updated today, and it shows how the recommended way to capture your images. And so you'll be able to look at that. But when you become a member, all of the members are in our private Facebook group, and they talk about files in great detail. So you'll have access to that. There's a long discussion in there actually going on for the last week. There's usually a discussion about files like once a month, and you can ask, tell the members like, hey, here's what I have. You could even, I'm sure one of them would even allow you to send the file to them and they'll look at it and help you. But we have extremely sophisticated and talented people on our platform, like the photographers and painters. And there's nothing new under the sun. Everybody's done all this stuff. So when you come in, you're going to have that information at your fingertips.
And one thing that I'm worried a little bit is about the technical support, because I'm an artist too. I'm a songwriter, but I manage him, and we cope very well. The business with the art, visual art, and music. It's similar. No, it's not identical, but it's similar in the feeling that you want to sell beauty. But I'm not too technical. I saw the guy Joseph seems easy, but if I have a doubt, how I have to wait for a reunion in Zoom, or you have a department that I can call, or how that's work?
Yeah, Joseph, did you want to explain how the support works?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to say during your demo, that's part of that, Jose. Nate's going to cover all their hours and everything, but we have ongoing chat support Monday through Friday. We do work off of Central Time hours. You could always schedule a call with them as well. But yeah, Nate will go over all that and show you where to do that today on your walkthrough. So you'll get those questions answered, and you'll see him. He'll upload an image. So again, we didn't do a full demo for everybody just because we want to get to everybody's questions. But yeah, a lot of those things we're going to cover for you this afternoon and get you going.
Okay. Well, I want to say at last that in my experience, like an artist, and like I'm going around for many years, the future is this.
Yes.
Internet.
Absolutely.
And I been told very, very difficult, in other places like First Dips, which one of my galleries that she get rid of the gallery because the price went to the skies here in Miami, and she sell in there. But I was telling her, but we need more tools. You have to, because the people doesn't have imagination or doesn't know. I know when somebody show me a picture and tell me the size, and I can imagine in this place and everything, but the common client doesn't imagine. You have, the best thing is to show it in the studio, but I can't bring everybody to the studio. And the wonderful thing for internet, and I saw one painting last year for Italy, I saw for California. I didn't saw anybody in Miami, but I saw outside Miami. So I think this is the future, and I hope this is gonna work finally for me, because I've been looking for something like this.
Awesome. Love it, Jose.
Excellent, Jose.
Y estamos trabajando en algunas más personas que puedan hablar español.
Buenísimo.
Importante, ¿no? Importante.
I think I just learned something new about Pat. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally you're Joseph Vasquez. If anyone should be speaking Spanish with a name like that, right?
And I'd speak zero. It's terrible.
Okay.
Get Patrick Shanahan, fluent Spanish.
Yeah, I'm Mexican on my father's mother's side.
Yeah.
Okay, Peter Whitaker, you're up. Peter, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a photographer, not a professional photographer, an amateur photographer. I have no website. I have a lot of art, photography, which people have asked me to sell, and I've not done so. I would be interested in selling photographs. I have a fairly large collection, but right now I've got nowhere to show them to anybody other than I have a kind of little attachment to my Facebook page where people can look at it, but only if I invite them to. I'm not sure whether I want to or should spend the money with you to set up something. And I'm curious as to what advice.
So what are you thinking about? You're just not sure whether you're ready to take that step?
I'm not sure. Obviously, if I pay the money to you, I want to make sure that I'm going to sell enough art, sell enough photographs that covers the cost of so doing.
So here's how I can help you. Okay. So the way that you want to, like, I'm going to give you a tactic that you can do to kind of figure that out. Cause here's how we feel at Art Storefronts. If you have sold, a couple of pieces of your art, couple prints, you know what I mean? If you have prints, and to a complete stranger, like not your mom, not somebody who's like sympathy buying, right?
Sure.
But it could be a coworker or something. And like when you, like what you said earlier, when people are kind of pulling the art out of you, like what you should try to do is get the order, like sell it to them, because that's a really positive sign, It's one thing if it's just your mom, like, I don't know why this pops in my head, but it reminds me of like American Idol, like the old days with Simon Cowell, and, the moms and dads are always like, you're so great. You're so great. And then, they're not, but if people are pulling that out of you, it's a really good sign.
I mean,
Okay.
I've had in art exhibitions, which were not selling ones, but people have asked if they could buy my photographs.
That's great.
One of the issues was I didn't know how much to price them for. And secondly, if that is the case, I'd be interested in being able to do it. I just don't know how I want to do it and whether I can make it into a profitable exercise.
Yeah. So I'll help you. I'll help you with all of that. So to finish what I was saying though, like once you have sold 1, 2, 3 pieces or something to complete strangers, you validated that, you know, you can sell your art, right? What we say at Art Storefronts is once you're at that point, you are ready to join Art Storefronts. So we have people joining that are at that level. We have people joining that are right where you're at too. They're like, enough people, I have enough confidence, I've never sold anything yet, and I'm still gonna join. And we're like, that's fine if you wanna do that, you know? And we have people who are already, you know, selling extremely well who also join. So we get everybody across the board, you know? And so in your position, what I would do, if you want to validate that, like, you know, you're gonna make something happen, or you're gonna try to make something happen, what you should do is get a couple of prints made, okay, and go out and try to sell them. And you could do it on social media if you have a phone, to your, you know, post it to your Facebook page or Instagram if you have it. If you have any sort of an email list, any contacts that you built, it could be all friends and family. That's okay, right? But I would, you know, post those up there and say, hey, people have been asking me for over the years, you know, to buy my images from me. I am now thinking about taking the next step, and I'm celebrating this by running the best sale that I will ever run, right? To see, you know, who wants, you know, my art. So I'm going to be pricing these at $200, right? And but during this sale, I'm going to price them at $100 until they're gone, right? I've got 5 pieces, I've got 3 pieces, whatever you want to do, right? And here they are, and here's the pricing. And don't stress about the pricing, right? Like you can look online, you can look anywhere. What we always recommend is like a 250% markup over the printing cost. You might want to write that down, like a 250% markup over the printing cost just to start. And then you could discount that down, but you're not looking to try to make a bunch of money up front right now on a test. It's literally just an experiment. That's why you want to do a big discount, to just be like, hey, if I'm going to basically give this art away almost, I'm going to make people pay. But if I have a really good price, it should sell, you know?
If I can interrupt you a second, I'd be very uncomfortable trying to sell my photographs to my very close friends and family.
Well, do you have a Facebook following, or anybody following you at all, like for your images, or are you literally like straight from scratch?
I have a regular Facebook page, but I also have a Peter Whittick Photography Facebook page, which is not open. It's only available by invitation. And basically most of my friends on Facebook have been invited into it, and they all say, "Ooh, that's very nice," or whatever. But it's not as a selling proposition. Right. And I would be uncomfortable selling to those people right now. I could open it. Because they're very close friends.
Right, but you're just making a post. You're not like pulling their arm and putting it behind their back and forcing them to do anything, right? Like this is a very soft. This is not a sell. This is not like a salesperson.
The other thing I guess I could do would be open that website that Facebook page to the public, and see if anyone found it and joined it.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but I mean, like, it's so funny the way that, you know, people look at this. It blows my mind sometimes. But like if I'm gonna if I like your work, Peter, and I'm your, you know, a friend from maybe a previous coworker or whatever it was, and that post comes across, and I like an image, and you tell me that you're going to be selling for $200 and I can get one for $100 now, you're doing me a favor. Like this, like you don't see it that way. You think you're like bothering somebody, and it's like, do you understand? Like, anybody that wants your work is going to be like, oh my gosh, I just got the deal of the century. This is so amazing. I love this guy. Like, I'm so glad that he did that. I'm going to support him. I'm going to feel good about supporting him. The last thing on their mind, literally, the last thing on their mind is like, what a, you know what, he's trying to sell me. Because the only way that would come across is if the verbiage on your post was like overtly like, you know, like rude, you know? You can say the language in such a nice way, you know, and hey, no obligations at all, you know, da 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 da. This is what I'm looking to do. I'm just looking to validate my art, see if I should launch a business or not. So I'm just, you know, I got all these great images. I just want to, if anybody wants a print, look, I'm going to sell, you know, I'm going to give them for like super cheap right now. And then I'm going to launch my business and it'll be awesome. So give me any feedback or whatever you guys want to do, right? You just, it's a total soft sell. And all you're looking to do is validate that some people actually want what you have. Now you can do the same thing in person, right? That's often what we recommend. However, during the pandemic, it's very hard. Like oftentimes what we tell people to do is, you know, go to a show or like a local art festival, go to a farmer's market or whatever, get a booth. It's really cheap, you know, get some prints and do it for one day and do the exact same strategy, right? Like price it aggressively and just validate that your art will sell and you're done. At that point, based on that feedback and based on what happens, you're ready to take the next step because right there, you're like, you now have a validated business. It's very small. You have a validated idea. And then at that point, the reason I say you're ready is because, you know, if you're going to give your art business a shot, and this goes for any artist or photographer that's out there, you know, that's been an artist for a long time or maybe for a couple of years, if you know that this is what you're going to do, why would you not properly equip yourself, you know, with everything to have the wind at your back? It's not that expensive. It's actually really cheap when you really look at it, you know? I mean, hiring marketing consultants is anywhere from $100 to $200 an hour, right? Like the fact that we're giving you marketing consulting for life, you know, at $1,000, I mean, you have to start asking like, how are they able to do that? Like, that's the real question, right? But that's all you got to do. And you're ready to take that next step. And then you can give it a shot and you got to give your business a shot, work at it for a couple of years because it takes a couple of years to build anything significant.
Yeah, Peter,
So
let me say it a different way. You and I are a couple of kids, and we grew up in the same neighborhood, which, by the way, it's amazing we both grew up in Barbados. I love that tropical background. But I see you sitting on the lawn, and you've got a pitcher of lemonade, and you've got a bucket of lemons, and there's ice in there, and you've got a bunch of cups. And I walk up, and I say, Peter, all you have to do is go out onto the sidewalk, set up a table, put a sign outside that says lemonade and 5 cents, and shut up. That's it. And see what happens.
Yes.
You're sitting on the lawn, Peter, but you got to go to the front of the street, set the table up, put the sign, lemonade, 5 cents. I'll stand there with you. I'll stand there next to you. It's a beautiful Caribbean day. We don't have to be anywhere else. And let's see what we can do. That's it. You got to get out of your own way. Go to the street, set the table up.
So what you're suggesting is I get the validation. When I have the validation, then I come to you and say, okay, let's roll.
Yes. Because
exactly.
let me tell you, if your line,
let's go build a business.
If your work does not sell offline, thinking you're going to go online and make it happen is a recipe for disaster. You have to validate. Yeah. You have to validate.
I understand. Get it. Thank you. I appreciate the advice.
Yeah. And where are you from, just out of curiosity, originally?
Originally England, but I've been here 37 years.
Got it. Okay.
Sitting on the beach here.
Yeah,
Peter,
yeah. Beautiful beaches of a Brighton there, it looks like.
And Peter, just to help you out, if you do want to order some nice prints, just to test that out, I put a link in that group, and anyone else in Peter's same position can use that and get some quality art prints there. I also put a link on there about a little more detail on how to price your artwork, so that those resources will help you out too.
Excellent, Joseph. Well done, sir.
Yep. Okay, Larry, you are up next. It's saying, I'm trying to unmute you, Larry. You might have to unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Yes.
Hey, thank you very much, guys. Very nice presentation. Just a little bit of background on me. I've been in the art business before, not since about 2008, mostly so. And so I'm familiar with that side, but I was selling other people's work. Okay. Now, a question I would have is several questions. First of all, besides an artist that I produced my own art, I I've collected art through the years. Art that I've collected through the years, and if I want to release that back into the market, can I do this on this site?
Oh yeah,
all day.
It's your own website. You can do whatever you want with it. You can list anything for sale.
Oh, good. The next thing is I do have an internet-based business that is totally unrelated to the art business. And would I be able to use that corporation to be able to use my art business as well?
Can you say that again? I didn't understand.
He's got another LLC or S corp or a structure, and you're saying you want to use that to take payments and such. Is that what?
Exactly.
Yes, all day.
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
No problem at all. Yeah, we don't
Okay,
care. No one cares where the money goes. So you got a bank account already set up, all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no
That's
problem.
what I was thinking. So on the email list, you were talking about the email list and things. Okay, so one thing, and I'm not familiar enough. Is this a proprietary system built in your system that would be similar to like Constant Contact? Okay, Constant Contact is
yeah, we know what it is.
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
No, we don't. Our platform is not an email service provider. Like we're just talking about like you have a contact manager in our thing. So all your stuff is like we want it to be your centralized contact database. We actually recommend MailChimp, which is a competitor of Constant Contact.
Okay.
And we connect to the API. MailChimp is also free. Like they have a free account, like up to like a certain limit of emails, which is great for artists and photographers who don't have a following yet. And so anytime you get a contact, like an email address in the platform, in your Art Storefronts website, it automatically will sync to MailChimp and it's ready to go there. And then all of the email templates that we provide, you actually can put them right in your MailChimp account, which is amazing. And like the design is all there and everything. So you just like replace the image, with one of your images, and you can modify the text if you want. And that's how the emailing works.
Okay, great. With this in the marketing, is there any format to be able to? I don't know how to ask the question other than is there any type of art collectors database that y'all provide?
No, and that's one of the misconceptions that we're trying to stop people from thinking, because it's a lie. The way you're going to sell a lot of art, Larry, like whatever the art is I mean, I don't know what kind of art you've collected, but in general, the way that art is sold is mainly to people who have a connection with your subject matter or the subject matter of the art that you're selling, right? So the job from a marketing standpoint that we're doing with our members is to help you find as many of those people that you possibly can, right? And obviously everybody's looking for high net worth individuals. Every single member is looking for high net worth individuals, right? So nobody's unique in that regard. But what you need is high net worth individuals that have a connection with the subject matter, right? So there's no lists. Nobody's ever bought a list that ever did anything for them. People have bought lists, but nobody's bought a list that's ever done anything for them. So there isn't anything like that. You have to just build it.
No, the list comes to find out is Bigfoot. Everybody's heard about the list, but no one's ever seen the list. No one's ever seen it.
If I gave you every list, the email list of, our top sellers, nothing would happen. Nothing would happen because, our top sellers, I look at their subject matter. The reason they have those fans and those followers and those collectors is because they want their art. Turtles. They want those turtles. They want those waves, right? They want those rock stars, right? Like it's totally irrelevant. You're not going after people who just have a high income. You need, if you're painting, a bunch of, I don't know, Elvis paintings or something like that, you want the Elvis people, right? Not just anyone. It's not going to make sense. So that's generally what like we're doing from a strategic standpoint.
So the next question I would have is, because I really haven't seen a website, a live website of one of your artists, for example, that shows their art and how it works. And there may be some type of demonstration website.
Well, can we get some website examples in our show notes? And when you request a demo, they can send you, Joseph, what do you guys usually do? You send them a handful of them?
Yeah. Yeah. I can always send you an email as well, Larry, with a bunch of examples.
Well, yeah, if you could send me that information and the information that you had put about the pricing and the markup and things like that, that would be great. But I guess one of the question I'm going to ask here is, so somebody comes to the website that I have built with you guys. Would I be able, once they hit the page, if I have original photography, as well as the art medium, as well as items that I've collected that I want to sell, is there a way to branch that out when they come in? They could click on, well, wait a minute, he's got a Chagall he wants to sell, okay? Versus,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's very powerful. Like, you can do pretty much whatever you want.
Okay, good.
And
Like
by the way, I might have to wind back. If you actually have Chagalls to sell, there might be a list. There might be a list if you've got some Chagalls.
I've got 4 Chagalls. I got a couple Salvador Dalis. I collected some Renoir etchings that I've got. So
I love Dolly. I love Dolly. I'm on your list. No.
So, but anyway, it's stuff.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. I mean, you'll target those, right? Like the list is this. What's funny about this is that the list is essentially the tactics that the tactics and the playbooks that you will do as a member that we will have you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Will send you right to those people. Like, you can target those people and get in front of them. Like, the bigger their name is, the more doable that is.
Well, and here's the thing I'll just say is kudos to you guys, because when I got into the art business back in about 2005, I worked for a fairly large gallery, and we went through extensive training, okay, that you just simply couldn't go on the street and find, okay?
Which gallery was it?
Well, I'd rather not say. I'll tell you at that point, but I'll just say that I sailed around the world on many cruise ships.
Oh, I know exactly who it is. It starts with a P.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it was a wonderful life, and there was a lot of things that I learned about auctioneering and things like that. And so, for an average guy, unlike myself, I'm looking for the business tools to be able to start this. I'm not looking for all the necessarily education, but the education you're providing here is something that can't be bought.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is, like, I try to explain this to people. It's just such an important thing, because we get, and this isn't, you're not saying this, Larry, but I'm going to make a broader point here because it applies to what you're talking about as well, is that, like, we get a lot of people who have sold in galleries before, have, like, for years sometimes. I mean, there was a guy we were talking to the other day, Pat, remember, he said he was doing like $350,000 a year in sales through like galleries, right? For years. And that whole thing just blew up. It blew up before the pandemic. Like, it was dwindling down to, almost nothing. And then we were talking about, okay, he wants to go online and build a business direct and do what, join Art Storefronts and do what we're doing. And the thing that I have to explain to people that are in that position that they don't understand is that, when you look at the people on our platform who are selling $100,000 or more, they have a requisite skill set that they have built. And that is the reason why they are selling what they are selling. It is not because of their art. It is not just because of the product, right, itself. And so experienced artists, who have sold in galleries and stuff before, they don't have those skills. They think they do. They think that just because they've done that they should be right up there. But we know, because we look at their skill set, the way they talk, the way they ask questions, the way they execute on the marketing and things like that. And you can compare the two, and they are literally like an ocean of a difference apart, right? And they need to build the skill set to get to that level, right? And to look like that person. Like, that person thinks a certain way. That person is, has been digital marketing for a while and understands what to do and what not to do. They put in the work to acquire that skill. And that's the difference between everybody. And we were actually talking about this, like, right before we came on a different live session, but we have a world-class photographer on our platform who is literally one of the best in the world. Like some people might even consider him like the best, like for that field. And like he's got over 1 million followers on Instagram and a ton on Facebook, like as good as it gets. And you know, he started to sell online, and you know, you would think like, wow, that guy should be like doing like $500,000 a year. No, people on Art Storefronts that nobody knows were outselling him like immediately. He had to learn, and his assistant, the requisite skills, and they're learning them more and more and more. And as they do, they're getting better and better, you know? And because he's got a great product, like when you have a great product, once you do this, you can really accelerate, which is great. But you have to learn the skills, you know, to run a direct online business in this day and age. And that's the key. And that's what we're all about. Is Art Storefronts is like a factory where we're churning out, you know, capable entrepreneurs that are artists and photographers that are capable of getting to higher and higher levels of success. You think you're buying a website and just a marketing plan, but that's really what we're doing here.
Could you imagine his website with a couple of Dalis, a couple of Chagalls, and a Renoir, and then it's got his stuff in there too? I mean, I would like to see it. I would like to see it personally. Great questions, Larry. Okay, Susan, you're up next. Let me get you unmuted here. Come on. You might have to unmute your mic, Susan. It's not letting me. There we go. We got you.
Hey, Nick and Patrick. I'm so pleasure to meet you guys. I was introduced. This thing came across my phone 2 days ago. I'm on board. Nice. I've been doing business since 1986, artist, and I'm my own marketing guru. You can only do so much, as you know. Yeah. So been there, done it. I don't do any of these platforms. And as far as, you know, I have my little websites, but I've been too busy painting on demand murals all over the world, you know, all this fun stuff. So I don't have an inventory, and I shouldn't have. But I do have the prints to be selling. I sell on an equine photographer since 2004. In one of the most prestigious, you know, magazines in London, yada, yada, yada. It's all marketing. Yep. It's all marketing. I am absolutely throttled to finally see, and gentlemen, whoever's on here, I do so much investigation. There wasn't much for me to do with you all because I could see what you had to offer. The price point is excellent. These cheap things, you get what you buy. People go online and all this crap, you get what you buy. So I think you're very well price point. I wish I had the cash this minute. Hopefully I'll have it in a couple of weeks, and I cannot wait. It sounds like the one thing I have, because of doing the arts and having my own studio, I did a gallery run with a friend for years. Something happened there. Not that he was not successful on the Cape, but I got away from galleries, you know. And the raw mode, or you do have a protection that no one can steal your stuff. People steal it no matter what. You can make it as small as you want. They take a picture of it, blow it up, bing, bang, done. I don't really care because I have followers. I have people to people. I've been known. I trade for like Tortola, the Villa for 8,000. My doctors, my lawyers, we do trade for 8,000, 10,000. It's great. So I have that presence. But I needed someone to put me on top, and I cannot speak highly enough, and I can't wait to start. So anybody who's on here, I'm a guru at investigating in a legal sense and whatnot. These guys are the real deal, and I haven't even started yet. I can see it because I used to put in my own metadata. What's that stuff called? Yeah. Behind the scenes. Yeah. And someone said, "Sue, can you teach me how to do business?" I said, "No. That takes a lot of hard work and a long time because I've always marketed myself." So I have 5 businesses. So the art and photography, the equine world, and polo, I think that'll do great and stuff. But it doesn't matter what you have. It's your platform. It's going to soar. So gentlemen, I can't wait to see
we can't wait to see you, Susan. So thank you for that. And then Joseph, since she brought up image security, a lot of people ask about that. We have extremely robust image security. So
absolutely. It's default with our sites that, there's no right clicking, no drag and dropping off of the website. Those things you generally would need to custom code on another site. We're never going to show any print-ready files on the front end. It's going to automatically downgrade them into a web-ready version. So that's a step that a basic website that's just a lot more work and effort for you guys that you don't have to do here. It's just done. You know, you could add a custom watermark if you want. Most of our clients don't really mess with it because with the other things, it's just not necessary. But yeah, it's just built for what you need it to do. So it's really nice. So.
And I would say, guys, if there's others that have questions, you can raise your hand. We'd love to talk to you. Love to hear what you're struggling with in your business. I think one opportunity that Susan opened up, Nick, is we just released a new automatic SEO feature, which is pretty interesting. You might want to elaborate on that a bit.
Yeah, it's automatic art SEO. Part of the reason is because search engine optimization is not something we want people spending their time on. It's a tactic that was working in the early 2000s. I built a business off of it. And it stopped working in like 2010, in the sense that when everybody and their brothers finds out about a marketing tactic, by definition, it stops working and the arbitrage is not there anymore. So that's what, and that was 10 years ago. And so, oftentimes artists and photographers, they come to us, they're like, I want to launch the website. I want to just do the SEO. And we're like, oh my goodness, please just follow our marketing tactics. And because what we're focused on is where the arbitrage is right now. It might not be next year, but we are on the state of the art, what is working literally right now that almost nobody is doing, And so the automatic art SEO, we released this like a month ago, I think it was, or 3 weeks ago, where we wrote into our algorithm in the software, all of the art specific verbiage, like perfectly, for all of the metadata on your site. So when you upload your images and you put your information in, we're using all of that to automatically generate like really robust SEO metadata to feed to Google and the search engine, so that it's like, we're 80-20ing it, right? Like I use that phrase all the time. Like you get 80% of it done. If you spend any more time on it, you're not going to really get the ROI on it. So that way, all of our members don't have to worry about, spending time researching or entering in SEO data at all. You're getting it out of the box. When you upload a new image, it's just all right there. As soon as you enter in your information, it's all done for you. You can override what we have if you want to, but we're trying to tell everybody it's a total waste of time. What we're giving you, we know SEO really well. I used to be a complete expert in it, so I understand what these things need to be. And so we're just giving it to everybody automatically, right? You never have to worry about it. So that's a really cool feature. People are loving that. And there's another question here, Pat, that I want to address in the chat from Sheila. She said, thanks, gotta go. Since I don't want to do social media, I see that this won't work for me. Hang on a second. I did shows in the US for years and am now living outside the country, and there are only small shows here. I realize this cuts out a lot of possibilities, but we'll have to see what the future will bring. I love this, because here's the thing. I market, on Facebook, Instagram, and all of these things, and I don't do social media. Don't mistake those two. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is like the modern day CNN, NBC, Fox News. They're broadcasting platforms. Just you utilize them for your benefit, for your business. That doesn't mean that you're going to be on there, with all the trolly, information back and forth with friends and family. I literally have a Facebook account and account on all these things. I have never published one thing, like one picture or one thing at all. You don't have to participate in any of the social media or any of that stuff. You're literally using it to market yourself, because that's where the attention is, right? So, and that's the whole thing, where people are spending their time. That's where you need to be. That's what marketing is. So don't get that's another, Pat, perfect misconception right there. She left. She already left, because I can see her name is like grayed out. Yeah, she left and she missed the most important piece of information for her entire career. Okay. Now, like Pat was talking about with the drain, right? I can't give you anything. For a person like that, I can't give you our website or our marketing plan or any of that stuff, because unless you remove that mental roadblock that you think you have to be like a social media person now, then you don't want to do that. Like, unless you remove that, we can't help you. It's over, you know? And that's what's so important about these sessions is like removing the mental roadblocks. It's more psychology than anything. So that you guys are like taking your first step where I'm like, I got to make you a capable entrepreneur. I have to do that to make you successful. That's what we have to do. And so if you have mental roadblocks that are in your way, we got to remove that garbage layer by layer so that you're free to like do what you need to be successful.
Yeah. And Jose, no, not to start out with. You do not need to pay Facebook a dime. As you get more sophisticated in your marketing, we have a large amount of customers that run ads on Facebook and Instagram, but there's a whole bunch of stuff to do in between now and then. And I think that's like an important analogy, right? Like we talk about self-limiting beliefs, getting the drain unstuck. Just like people think like, ooh, there's a magic website out there I can upload myself to, or there's a list of high net worth individuals. So too, that thinking nuances itself down to social media. And it's like, if I can just learn the one social media tactic, I'll do that and my business is going to take off. It's going to be incredible. And there is no one tactic. There's never been any one tactic. There never will be any one tactic. I've got a boat, Jose. You've got a boat, okay? We both hired a captain. We both have gas. We're both going to steam out of Miami, and we're going to go fishing on the open ocean. Everybody that thinks there's one tactic has one fishing line in the water, okay? You've got one pole and one line. You steam out to the middle of the ocean. You put that line in the water, and you're trying to fish. Problem is, the ocean's a really big place. It's fickle. It's erratic, right? There's a lot of space there. So maybe you catch something, maybe you don't. My boat, right next to yours, I've got a fishing line. I've got nets. I've got crab pots, lobster pots, harpoons, kites. I've got things no one's ever heard about. And
drones.
Yeah, drones. So what is the difference between those two? The difference between those two is I'm marketing everywhere. I have an email list. I have an autoresponder. I'm posting on Facebook regularly. I'm posting on Instagram. I'm putting videos out on YouTube. I'm doing Instagram lives and art shows. I'm doing offline activities. I'm having sales on a regular basis. I'm posting all the time. I'm discounting. So, everybody thinks like, ooh, if I could just do this one thing. It's not any one thing. It's understanding what marketing is. It's starting to do it consistently. Yes, it's important to focus on the high ROI activities. You can't go chasing after the shiny objects. We help with all that. We have all the data on that. We know what the highest ROI activities are. Then it's just doing it consistently. Doing it consistently all through the year. The consistency is the key. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. You have a long time to figure this out and going. You're going to be selling art or photography. Artists and photographers don't usually just wake up and they're plumbers, they're accountants. No, you're an artist and a photographer for life. You're going to be selling your 30s, your 20s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, potentially even into your 90s. And that's an amazing thing to think about. So when you think about that and you're like, okay, I'm in this for the long haul. I just need to learn my marketing. It's a marathon. You just keep putting more lines in your water, right? At first you have the one pole, and then we teach you how to use a net. And then you've got the net, and then we give you the harpoon, and then the harpoon, and then the lobster pots. And so early on, you only have a couple of those, and then you add a couple more, and a couple more, and a couple more. Your boat's going out to the ocean, and no matter what happens, it's coming back laden with seafood. That's the game. There's never one thing. So that's what I would say. Paula.
Yeah, the other thing too that I'll say is,
and then I'll grab you, Paula.
Is how dangerous those thoughts are. Because your thoughts, what you think, determines your actions, right? And so when you think like, okay, what's that number one tactic? Do you know what happens when it doesn't work? You get really like dejected, like mentally. Like you're like, this should have been better. Like, what's going on here? This should have worked. And like you can so easily do it completely wrong and not know what you're doing, like, and then because of the quality of your thinking is low, you are now like really dejected about something that doesn't even matter, and that happens everywhere with this, right? So it is so much more psychological. Like building a business is so much more psychological and mental than people realize. And, the quality of your thinking is so important. That's why with our membership, right? There's this saying from Jim Rohn, this old famous saying, you're the average of the 5 closest people you surround yourself with, right? Well, when you become a member at Art Storefronts and you join this crew of 3,000 members, this is not like the million artists out there, every photographer with an iPhone in their pocket. This is a serious group. This is an elite group. They, they know what they're doing. I mean, obviously people come in, everybody that comes in does not know what they're doing. They do not know what they're doing at all, right? But everybody's on that path. And so, but there's such great people in there that surrounding yourself with our team, Patrick, myself, Taylor, our marketing team, and then, the other members, is going to increase the quality of your thinking. And that is just as important as anything as you're trying to build a business. So you're not alone on an island, which most people try to do. They do everything alone on an island. And then they come in with a thought and you're like, where did you get that from? Like, I've literally never heard that in my life from working with 3,000 artists for the past 6 years since we started Art Storefronts. And they're like, really? You've never heard that? It's like, no, because the problem doesn't exist. Get in here and go talk to the people that are actually running big businesses, that are selling. Like, get real information. Because as soon as I peel the layer back, I'm like, where did you get that from? They're like, I don't know. Because I'm like, I know you did. Because I know you didn't talk to somebody who's really selling and running a business. You just got it from some random blog or podcast, and who knows who that person was. So you got to be careful about your inputs and what you're making decisions based off of.
Yep. Okay, Paula, you're up next. Paula, go ahead. You might have to unmute your mic. I'm trying to unmute you, and it's not letting me. There we go. We got you.
You have me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see myself.
Yeah, your camera's not working, but that's okay. We can hear you, so you can talk.
Oh, okay. All right. So I've been an artist for 36 years, officially having a business. And I have sold a lot of work. It's been great. But the problem is, in the past 3-4 years, I've had some physical problems. So I could not get into the studio as much or be as aggressive as I was selling. So I think that this would be a great fit for me because I could then sell online. My question to you is, I noticed that you said that you don't have to pay everything at once. So what is for $1,000, if I started on that, what would that get me?
So to go through all of those details, you'll want to request a demo.
Right.
And the link is right there in the chat if you click on that. And then you can speak to one of our people like Joseph, who's on here, and who can go over all of that with you.
Okay, because, here, I'll try to put my on here.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. So anyway, all right. And then, I also noticed that you said that if you, sorry, I speak slowly. I apologize.
No problem.
I could use some of that in my own personal life, actually. Everyone tells me I talk too fast.
No, I want to speak faster. Trust me, Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. So I realized from this chat that you're saying if you pay the $2,500 up front, that then, you could get 8 extra months. 8 extra months of what, though? I'm not understanding that.
I would request a demo so that they can go through all of that with you, because they'll pull up a screen share and just show you everything, and it'll make way more sense. It's hard for Patrick and I to do it just verbally,
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think I did talk to you a while ago because I was pretty frustrated. I had put out a piece on Facebook, and yes, I did pay, $30 or whatever. I got 1,900 likes. I did not sell it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Likes mean nothing.
Yep, there is no button on the ATM machine. At least the last time I checked, I was there 2 days ago. Or I'd put in my code and I'd press the likes button and it shoots money out at me. We're hoping. I'm optimistic, Paula. But
this is one of when Pat, we've heard the amount of times we've had to deal with this problem with our own members too, Paula. We're dealing with this all the time because this is why we're like, don't do Facebook ads. Just wait. There will be a time when it may make sense for you, but just come on board and you're going to do all the other stuff first. That's free that you don't have to pay for. Do that first, and don't worry about it. But the part that really bothers me about this with Facebook is that having spent several $1 million on Facebook ads ourselves, right? We know this extremely well, you guys. Like if you ask Facebook to boost a post and to get likes or whatever, they will give you, like, they know who the people are that are most likely to just give you a like and not do anything else. They know it. They know it. They know it perfectly. And so you will end up getting, if you knew who those people were, and you could see their avatars and where they were from and where they live, you would look at them and go, had I known these were the people that they were showing the ad to, I would have never have done this. That's what's happening. That's what happens. And so you have to do the ads in the right way in order to make sure that you're getting it in front of the quality people. So the likes is just the worst thing in the world. It throws everybody off. They're like, wait, I got a lot of likes. Like, this should be happening. Like, I should get a sale from this. And it's like, no, you won't. No, you won't, because you're falling for it and you don't know, like, this is the way it works, right? So again, quality of information. So that's what it is. We wouldn't have you doing that, Paula. Like, no Facebook ads. Like, there's other things to do first. And maybe there would be a time to do that.
There are way more entertaining ways to light money on fire. It's sort of like you can't even be angry. You can't even be angry at Facebook because technically you told them to do that. It's like, you're a real estate agent and your job is to sell the house, right? So what you want to tell Facebook is like, go find me potential buyers. The likes, the comments, the shares. It's like you're telling Facebook, go and find me a gardener, which is fantastic. The gardener comes, makes the house look beautiful, and the house still sits unsold. Well, you got a beautiful yard. You got a beautiful yard out of it. Amazing, right? So that's how Facebook goes. And, it is extremely fraught with danger. And to go back to, trying to think that you're going to just put a couple of monies into the Facebook casino and it's going to spit you out buyers. And the earlier analogy holds true. Like, Nick is alluded to the fact that we've spent over $2 million over the years on ads. So I've learned every lesson. I've lit plenty of Nick's money on fire. Thankfully, it wasn't mine. And, you learn these lessons the hard way, and you realize that, like, Facebook is just laden everywhere with idiot taxes and landmines that you step on, right? And so I stepped on all of them, every single solitary one. I've learned. The analogy earlier about the fishing boat and those 2 boats that I gave to Jose steaming out there, everyone tries to go and run Facebook ads. And again, it's underpinning the same premise that there's just one easy thing that you can do. And the boat goes out there and you just have the one fishing line in the water. And sadly, fish weren't biting. It was crabs and you didn't have the crab pots. If you don't have all of these additional marketing pieces in line, you will never make it with paid advertising. Never in a million years, because paid advertising will send this traffic to you, but you don't know when it is and you don't know where it's going to be. So if you don't have all these other things working in tandem, the complete comprehensive marketing plan, you will never see the ROI out of it. Like, that one boat will spend $100 on ads and maybe you'll get back $1. Maybe if you're lucky, get $50 back. Let's just say in a perfect world. My boat, I'll spend the $100 and I'll get $500 back because I have all the tricks and tactics to catch no matter what goes on. And so that's sort of the analogy there, Paula. But thanks for the question. Anybody else want to raise a hand? Want to take a shot?
I want to clarify, because I saw this in the chat as well, and we're talking about it right now, that when you join Art Storefronts, you are not paying for anything else aside from the monthly fee, that Joseph was talking about and that they'll go over with you. What I mean by that is, some people have asked, like, do I have to buy some other courses, from you guys or from anybody else? Do I need to, spend a bunch of money on ads? Like, do I need to have an ad budget ready to go? No to all of those. Okay. Nothing. The only thing that you will spend money on potentially is buying a print or two for some of our tactics, because you got to, like, physically show it. Like, when you're doing, like, sending out an email or doing a social media post or a video or something like that to, like, merchandise the product. So it would be like the cost of that print, your print. But to put it in perspective, you get, like, amazing print discounts that you can't otherwise get unless you're a member with our fulfillment companies. Okay. And, like, you can offer an 8x10, like, you could show an 8x10. I think it was like I think the cost on the 8x10 is, like, on paper is like $7. So very small, but that's it. There's no more, like, buying other stuff, or you don't need a budget for anything else. You just need to pay for the membership and the monthly fee, and you go from there.
Yeah, the one-time fee, you're essentially paying for college, except this college is not 4 years; it's for the rest of your life. The learning never stops, right?
It's consulting and education in one, right? Like
we just stay at it and stay at it and stay at it. And we aren't old, crotchety professors on tenure that can't be fired. We are up to date. We are in the trenches. We are learning the latest and greatest, and that learning never stops either. So that part of it is mega fun. Mega fun.
Absolutely. So much fun.
Well, I think we've scared them, Nick. We don't have any other questions. Anyone else?
Oh,
Joe?
we got one.
Oh, Joe, way to step up to the plate, Joe.
All right. You guys, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Raise your hand. I know you got something. You got a question that you need to ask. Let us help you.
Hey, can you hold on 1 second? I'm actually working and listening to you guys at the same time.
And you got to love technology. Joe left a Facebook comment, and he's like, hey, how do I get in there? And then I got him into Messenger, and then I sent him the link in Messenger, and now he's here. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Technology is just incredible. Joe, are you working or are you skiing? Because it looks like you're skiing.
Yeah, I'm working for the Big Brown.
Okay.
So you're not busy.
Oh, no, not at all.
No, not at all. I have like a really big dog and like a Dutch door, and the dog always jumps up. So he loves the UPS guy, and I'm talking to the UPS guy all the time, and he's like, dude, Black Friday levels times 10 every day for the last like 2 months. He's like, dude, I've lost 10 pounds, and I didn't have any weight to lose in the first place.
Okay, let me get on. Yeah, let me get on top of the hill, though, please. Is that okay?
Yep, no problem. This is actually kind of classic. You want to talk about a multitasker and a hustler. He's literally driving the truck around, slinging packages, on the call, listening to this, and wants to ask a question. I mean, I love technology. I love it. What an amazing world we live in. Oh, no, that's why he wants to get to the top of the hill. All right, hold on, Joe. The signal went dead. Could you just picture? I wish I could have the video and the truck.
Yeah, I gotta get up on top of the hill because Verizon is awesome.
Yep.
Oh, got you now. Go ahead.
Verizon sucks out
here.
Yeah. Paying full price for half service.
Yep.
Okay, Joe, you got a question?
Yeah, buddy. Hold on 1 minute, 1 second, please.
This has got to be one of the most interesting experiences that we've had. I just pictured the truck.
So much anticipation.
The truck is just driving up the hill right now. Hold on, I'm 1 bar. I'm 2 bars. I'm getting close. We're getting hills right here. I can see it. Whooshie, package goes throwing out the window.
That's exactly how it is, too.
Yeah.
All right. I'm even giving you some video.
Love it.
Let me put my brake in so I'm legal.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just stick to the audio because the video will slow you down too much.
Let's see. First on the action item list. Joseph, can you send me a list of members' websites that have just the basic, like they're using their own website?
Using their own.
Yeah,
what do
like
you mean?
they,
Sorry.
Like they did the.
Like a bolt-on?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Sure.
I'm curious if you have any like successful members that are doing well with their own site and your guys' service. Second on the action item list is, do you guys take a percentage of say I sell an original?
Yes, Joseph went over that at the beginning of this presentation. He can go over that again with you, like on a demo.
Yeah, we can get you all that.
Okay. I did talk to Reed yesterday, and I've talked to him in the past. Actually, Patrick, I've been following you for probably 2 years now. I've had you in my head, and I've gone around and around with marketing, and I just suck. So
I've been rolling around in the UPS truck, and I didn't even know it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm more than confident that I'm pulling the trigger next week on this. I just haven't decided exactly how I want to enter into the cost. So third on the question list is I have existing prints from previous artwork I've done for a calendar for a printing company. So I have a surplus of prints. I can sell those on your site with that same preview mode? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Fourth on the action item list is if I had a customer buy a limited edition print framed, okay, is that something that they do? Would they send me the print? I would sign it, embellish it or whatever, and send it back, and they would frame it?
Yeah. Reed can always walk you through, but basically, yeah, with the limited editions, you would just set them up. You'll get an email that you got the order. And then if it's like current inventory you're looking to move, sign it and send it out, or you could always just order one as those are ordered.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a really easy place in the back end where you can order the print, order it with the frame if you want or not, depending on what the order was. It comes to you like perfectly packaged, right? And so you're going to keep all that packaging. You take it out real nicely, sign it, number it or whatever, package it all right back up, and then send it out with UPS.
Okay. Well, that's it on my list. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, get back at it, damn it. I'm waiting on my webcam and I want it delivered.
You and everybody else.
Killing me. Joe, I hope you come on board because this has been one of the funniest technological things I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. Good to see you, Joe.
Hey, nice to meet you guys. Finally.
Yeah, nice to meet you, and thanks for what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, you've been keeping my household on the train track, so to speak.
For real.
So, no joke. We appreciate you, brother. Stay safe out there.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, it looks like that's it. That's it on questions. Anybody else? While you've got us?
Joseph, final mention about the discounts ending and all that.
Yeah. The end of the month is upon us. So yeah, put in your requests. We're happy to chat with you and answer any light questions, and then find a good time before all the spots are gone for you to get you on board, because now's the best time. It's really the best price you'll ever see from us, as well as like the most free time we've ever given, on top of additional hosting time. So yeah, it's a good time to save a little bit, get a good deal in the middle of the crisis, and get this up and running.
And tell this terrible pandemic to pound sand, kick rocks, because it's not slowing us down. We are full steam ahead, and you guys need to be too.
Exactly.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you
so
much,
good to
everybody.
see all of you. Take care.
Take care.
Have a great weekend. Holiday weekend. 3-day weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
Get fired up, Paula, Jose, Philip.
All right.
We love it.
Enjoy the weekend.
All right.
Break out the hot dogs.
Yep.
See you guys.
Take care.